Another beautiful day. May Day, May Day. May 1st today, folks. Good morning. Looking at my neighbor over here, I think he might end up losing his shed. He's burning his field or his garden area. Look how close those flames are to that shed. They're pretty tall. He's clear over there. Well, he was. I don't see him now. I don't know. That looks a little close to me. Maybe that's the plan, but I kind of don't think so. I guess if I hear the fire trucks start coming, I'll know what's going on. Hope he knows what he's doing. So me, I'm back to this thing today. Try to get it finished up. So I went and got the new what is it? Anti-lock brake sensor. This is the old one. Kind of a, I don't know, it's pretty dark. Kind of a melted out mess. This is what the new one looks like. That's just a little bit different looking, ain't it? That had to have gotten pretty hot with that bearing rubbing like that. Went through and cleaned up the backing plate for the brakes and put this in here. You know, I'm not really sure how this is supposed to adjust. You have this adjustment dealy here, but I gotta put the springs on yet. But somebody was telling me, oh yeah, it's got a slotted hole in the backing plate, so you put a screwdriver in there to adjust it. Well, on the regular drum brake it does. On this it doesn't. And you know, the disc goes over the top of this. Ain't on right, but you can't get in there from anywhere. There's no hole to adjust it once that's on. On this setup, you got your disc brakes, and then you have a drum brake on the inside for the parking brake. So I'm not positive just how that's supposed to work. This is the little actuator thing. It's got a cable that goes into here, and that's what pulls this apart to pull them on and off. That kind of looks to me like you'd have to just get them as close as you can with that, where they're not rubbing, and call it good, I guess. I looked on the computer, and it shows them adjusting them on the brake pedal. So maybe that's how you do it. You get it close and then adjust it there. That fun stuff. Get this put back together so I can do the things I'm supposed to be doing. Hard to believe this little piece of wire and sensor. $65. Egads. Now, looking at the neighbor's house over there, let's see. Looks like he got away with it. Flames still or the shed is still standing, and flames have died down. At least for now. It's probably over there further than what it looks, but that didn't look too good to me. Oh, there he is, right there. I need to do some burning on the fairgrounds, but I'm not going to do it until I got the water truck handy. Fire is great stuff till it gets away. Getting that brake anti-lock wire thing in there was actually more of a pain than I thought it was going to be. It seems pretty simple. It's just got these little rubber things that go into some brackets going up the axle and up over into about to there. The plug end, holy smokes, I couldn't get that off for nothing. I ended up having to grind it just a little bit and spread it out before it would come loose. But it's on there now. It should work. But man, this thing is melted. Look at that thing. That's ugly. The new one looks a lot different than that. But anyway, it's in there. Found out it's got a little bit of a magnet on it. Got a couple of little metal filings on there accidentally. But anyway, the backing plate, it presses in over that hub. I was a little worried that was going to be hard to hold on and slide the axle in all at the same time. But it went actually pretty easy. And then I got this fancy dancy wrench with the point on it. That's perfect for lining up bolt holes. That should slide right on. Put the axle in there. But I think first I'm going to put that brake disc over this and make sure that it fits. These springs are really tough to get on and off. And see, I don't know, somebody was telling me, oh, these things, they self-adjust. In order to adjust, this would have to be turned, and I don't know how it could be. Right now I got it about as far open as I can, but it's hitting the spring, which maybe is what keeps it from turning. But what is supposed to push and turn that to tighten it? I don't really see how it could. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand how that's supposed to go. Like I say, that's the way it came apart. I'm not sure how that's supposed to be adjusted. Hopefully it'll be good enough. The one video I watched said to adjust it on the brake pedal inside. I don't know. I've got a book on this, and that's a whole different story. That kind of irritated me. The parts house, they pulled a kind of a crappy deal on me getting that book. But anyway, the book is about as clear as mud. You can't tell nothing by it. It's got no pictures. It just says to adjust it. Okay, how do you adjust it? It doesn't tell you, what it should be like or nothing. With regular brake drum pads, I adjust them just enough where when you turn it, you can hear it rub just a tiny bit. And maybe that's what I have to do with this. And with the axle out of it, make it a whole lot easier, because that disc, the lug nut bolts go through it. I won't be able to turn it unless I lift up that other wheel. Now, anyway, that's what I'm going to try next, and then slide the axle in there. The upper end of this tube, where the axle rubbed, it does have a little tiny bit of a egg shape on that lip, and there isn't much of a lip there. So I think I'll dab just a tiny bit of silicone on that upper edge, just to be sure it doesn't leak. But you gotta be careful with that too. I don't want to get that into the bearing either. Now, being the upper end of that, I don't think it'll leak anyway, but it splashes around in there some. It could. Anyhow, I'm gaining. I should have this back together today, I think. The line on that caliper, they didn't have one at the parts house, and the rubber brake line, And so if I can get that off of this one, I'll probably reuse it. I can change it later if it leaks or anything. But it looks like it's rested on there pretty good. I might not be able to get it off. That feels a little loose. Man, it's hard to know. I think maybe tighten that. A little bit. Well, I'm going to go with that. It feels like it fits without being tight. Like I said, I can't find anything on the computer or in the book on just how you're supposed to do that. So, hopefully that's close enough. Alright, so now I need the axle. Alright, that ain't gonna take very much. Now, get the axle. A tiny bit of grease in here. I put just a dab on the bearing too. It's supposed to be lubricated by the 90 weight sloshing around in there, but sometimes it won't get in there right away. It's got to come from the center of the axle and the differential to get to the end. So that'll help a little bit, I think. Alright, here we go. What turned out to be the problem is that bearing wasn't wanting to slide in very easy. That hits in there now. Brake sensor thing is very close to that little cutout wheel. I know it works on that somehow. That's why sometimes it kind of lurches a little bit when you go to stop. It has something to do with those little gear teeth. It's a magnet, and I don't understand exactly how it works, but it don't know. Okay, so now I need to put those 4 bolts back on the back, and that'll snug that bearing in the rest of the way, and square everything up besides. Then I gotta mess with the caliper, the brake disc, put the tire back on, and go give her a try. Well, I gotta, I guess I gotta put oil in the differential and the axle and put the cover back on. That would be just a little bit important. Okay, so that's in there. Throw that back on. And see with that on there, these bolts keep it from turning. The whole axle's turning. I don't know. I'm not sure how you're supposed to adjust those. Hopefully I'm close. About all I can really do is guess at it, I think. Anyhow, look at the back end here, the differential. It looks good and clean. Looking in the differential, there's no sign of any metal filings or anything. It's clean. I think that gear here and the axle shaft plug in the hole. I can feel the axle shaft right there. It's inside of there. That plugged up everything, kept it from getting in there. But I do have some brake cleaner. I'm gonna give it a squirt or two and wipe it down a little bit. There is a drain plug here. Has a magnet on it, and it has a very, very small amount of very fine silver stuff on it, but that's kind of normal. That's just regular gear wear. There's always going to be a tiny bit, but there's no chunks or pieces and no broken teeth in here, so I think I'm good to go. Clean this up a little bit and clean up the cover and glue it on there and screw it down. Yeah, there's nothing there. This should be fine. As clean as I can get that, I think, without taking off too much oil and stuff out of the bearings. Once I refill it, though, it should be fine. Got the cover nice and clean. Goober a little bit of silicone on there. Bolt it down, and then wouldn't you know it, I have 90 weight. This says 75 140 synthetic oil only. Mine is not synthetic oil. It's just standard 90 weight. Maybe a little more, 80, 90 weight. I don't remember what it is, but that ain't it. So I guess I gotta run back to town and go get some of that. Dang it, this is adding up. It's gonna be over $600. You know, by the time I'm done, it's already closing in on that with that wire cable thing, that sensor. That was $60. It was $500 before, or almost. Trucks. I think the Amish folks have the right idea. Ride a horse, and if you don't want to do that, you hire somebody with a truck to take you to town. It says that the capacity of the rear axle is 4.2 pints of synthetic 75 140 weight oil. So a little over half a gallon. That shouldn't be horrible bad. I was thinking of getting a 5-gallon bucket, which I don't have to do that. Hopefully a 1-gallon jug would be, I imagine, $30-40, which is still a lot of money, but 5-gallon bucket's going to be $75-100 probably, easy. So gotta go get that and button it up. Boy, was I mistaken. Holy moly. 80-90 weight that I already had sitting on the shelf right next to this is $31.99. A synthetic, it's double that. $62 and some. And Somebody's hollering. Tell you what, folks in town are crazy. Anyway, I gotta be over 600 bucks now. If not, I'm pushing the edge of it, but I think it's gotta be over 600 bucks. Holy crap. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna have me a beer. Maybe a dozen beers. I doubt it, but I'm gonna have more than one, I bet you. See you folks tomorrow. Good golly, I'm going broke in a hurry. Bye.